You know that feeling, right? You sit down for a meal in a totally new country and there's this tiny moment of panic. You're staring at the table, trying not to look confused because you really don't want to be disrespectful. Well, today we're going to clear all that up. We're diving into the amazing world of Taiwanese dining etiquette. And by the end, you'll feel like a pro. All right, let's put you right in the moment. Picture this, you're in Taipei, you're starving, and the table is just loaded with incredible-looking food. But then you see it. 2 pairs of chopsticks. What do you do? I mean, are you supposed to use one in each hand? Is one a backup in case you drop the first pair? It seems like a small detail, but trust me, the answer to this little puzzle is the key to understanding, well, everything about dining in Taiwan.
And the answer? It all comes down to one really powerful idea. A meal in Taiwan, it's not just about you and your plate. It's a shared, communal experience, through and through. That single concept, sharing, is the foundation for basically every rule we're about to get into.
Okay, so let's start decoding this whole thing. First up, the table itself. We're going to break down the basic layout, both what you see and the social stuff that's happening around it. So, the first thing you probably notice is that there isn't one big plate of food just for you. Most meals are served family style. That means you've got all these amazing dishes right in the middle of the table, and everyone just digs in and shares. It's way more interactive and honestly, a lot more fun.
And here's something really important. Respect is basically built into the whole meal. For instance, where you sit actually matters. The oldest or most important person gets the seat at the head of the table. And here's the big one. You wait. You don't touch your chopsticks until the elders have started eating. It's a simple gesture, but it means a whole lot.
All right, let's get into the stuff that can really trip you up if you don't know it. The unspoken rules. These are the do's and, more importantly, the don'ts that really show you get it.
Okay, if you take away only one single thing today, please let it be this. This is the #1 biggest no-no in Taiwanese dining culture. You never, ever stick your chopsticks straight up in your bowl of rice. Seriously, don't do it.
And there's a really powerful reason for this. When you stick chopsticks upright in rice, it looks exactly like incense sticks that are burned for the dead at a funeral. So you can see why it's a huge symbol of bad luck and disrespect. It just has no place at the dinner table.
Okay, this next one might mess with your head a little bit, because for a lot of us, we're taught to clean our plate, right? It's a compliment. But in Taiwan, it's actually more polite to leave just a little bit of food behind. It's a nonverbal way of saying, "Thank you, I am so full and satisfied, you were an incredibly generous host."
And hey, here's a practical tip that might surprise you. You know how in some cultures it's rude to lift your bowl? Well, forget that here. It's totally fine, in fact it's normal, to pick up your rice bowl and bring it closer to you when you eat. It makes getting that last bit of rice so much easier.
All right, so all of this brings us right back to where we started. That mystery of the 2 pairs of chopsticks. Now we're finally going to solve it. This is all about the real art of sharing.
And the answer is a simple word, gongqi. Those are the communal chopsticks, or public chopsticks. Their entire job, their whole reason for being, is to take food from those shared plates in the middle and move it to your own personal bowl. That's it.
So the system is actually super simple once you get it. You've got your personal chopsticks. Those are for eating from your bowl. They go in your mouth. Then you have the guangquai, the serving chopsticks. They touch the shared food, but they never touch your mouth. That separation is absolutely key.
And what does it all boil down to? Well, it's about hygiene and, again, respect for everyone else at the table. I mean, think about it. Using the chopsticks that have been in your mouth to grab food from a shared plate, it's just not very hygienic, right? So using the gongkoi is a really simple, considerate way to show you're thinking about everyone else.
Okay, so we've made it through the main course without any major mistakes. Now let's talk about some of the finer points, how to wrap up the meal with a bit of finesse.
And to make this super practical, let's talk about one of Taiwan's most famous and delicious dishes, xiaolongbao. You know them, soup dumplings. And trust me, there is a right way to eat these.
Now listen up, because this is crucial. Do not just pop the whole thing in your mouth. You will get a mouthful of lava-hot soup, I promise. The pro move is this. Gently place it on your spoon, poke a little hole in the skin to let that amazing broth out, sip the broth first, and then eat the rest of the dumpling. It will completely change your soup dumpling experience.
So, what about the stuff you can't eat? You know, like little bones or shells. Super simple. Just make a neat little pile on your side plate or even on the side of your bowl. The main thing is just to keep them off the main tablecloth.
And finally, when the bill comes, here is a huge tip for travelers. You don't need to tip. It's just not really a custom in most restaurants in Taiwan. Why? Because the service charge, usually about 10 or 15%, is already included in your bill. So you can save yourself the awkward, how much do I leave moment?
So you see, none of these are just random, arbitrary rules. Every single one is connected to something deeper, to cultural values that make a meal in Taiwan so much more than just, eating.
When you really look at it, it all paints a picture of core Taiwanese values. That family-style eating, that's all about community. Using the gongkwai, waiting for the elders, that's pure respect. And leaving a little food on your plate, that's about hospitality and showing gratitude for your host's generosity. It just goes to show you a meal is never just about the food. All the little rules, the rituals, the things we do without even thinking, they tell a story about who we are and what we value. Which kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does the way you eat say about you?